Ladies and gentlemen, intro. The courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. I thought we were going to go into an anime intro. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Yes, Blood Falcon. Detonate was discovered to be one responsible for the bombing. If only it were that simple. Somehow, I can't help but think that there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I got more than a few personal stakes in it. Oh, do you? Turnabout Cosmic. Here's our anime intro. What have we got? Remember, I thought we were in the POV of a meteor about to hit the world.
Please begin your final equipment check.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
I think things are not as A-okay as you say they are.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Where are we going with this? Oh no. Alright. It's not going to be as cleanly laid out for us as has been in the previous intros. Yeah, very cute. Blair, James, Solaris. Did I get the stuff and read the messages? Yes, I did read that stuff. I did thank you on Discord. I mean, last time when you told me about it, I reviewed some of the chat messages that were going on. I'll be honest, last time I was getting so green around the gills that I barely remember what was going on in chat. I remember what was going on in the game, but I was going through it. I don't know why. I spent all of Tuesday almost practically bedridden, and just this morning I started to feel normal. So I got some kind of passing bug, not some kind of major illness, but I think you could take a look at the previous stream and see how I was deteriorating with the jacket fully on and then zipped down and then off. I was starting to become more sweat than man. Merry Christmas Eve. Yes! Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. I bring to you the gift of justice. The Apollo kind. But yes, I can now that I'm aware of what day and what city I'm in. Thank you very much for East and Luna Nights. Definitely going to be pumping those up. There you go. Alright, District Court, defendant lobby number 5. Time for another trial to begin. But this one is different. Sorry to bother you, but... Are you alright, Apollo? Was I making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I was just doing my cords of steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. What do the court records say? Looks like we can get a little bit of intel into what exactly is going on before we even start the trial proper. Oh, we'll let everything come out as intended. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Is this a lotus root? That's right. My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it, and thanks for this. I'm gonna have some right now. Oh my! Oh, kinda tough though. You can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. If she didn't think me weird before, she will now. I gotta calm down. Just imagine Apollo just chomps into this thing, and then she is absolutely smitten by it. He's so weird, I love it. Oh, I just realized you took advantage of the sale to get trails from zero. Nice! You know, the prologue, yep, but you're enjoying it so far. It's kind of like that one meme where like the princess finds a prince stuck in a tree, and she's like, "He's so stupid, I love him." That's Juniper with Apollo. Apollo, sorry I'm late. Hi, Athena. Junie, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thing, you. Athena, stop. We're kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Oh, Apollo, when will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Wow, that was the longest sigh I have ever heard. This is it. It's all over for me. You're gonna find me guilty. You're giving me some Larry Butts vibes. Think it's the tall head and the funny hair. My man built like a red Sharpie. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Starbuck, aka Sol. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. Suddenly, Apollo had a best friend in high school. I mean, to be fair, the games usually don't require us diving deep into the backstories of the main characters. But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now. Sure he isn't hyperventilating? He's so depressed, it almost seems like an act. Launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. He'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that! Don't stop believing! Besides, you just have to go into space again. You just have to go into space again. Yeah, I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay Terran. I can't believe he was murdered. Clay Terran. Literally Earth. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Alright, we get it. Clay's gone, and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. What is it? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. And in exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Do I? I just have an autopsy report. Damn. It's one thing if it's the scene of the crime, but it's another thing if it's your BFF. You have to look at that every single time you need to reference it to solve the case. Brutal. Oh, well, about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd have liked, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner. Everybody thinks I did it. Thought I was gonna soar like a comet. I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. No, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck. Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you've got to keep going. Boy, well, I was taking this a lot better than I expected. And what about you, Apollo? There we go. What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go? Apollo? Trial's about to begin. If the defense would please proceed into the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer. So, does this count as day 1? Is this like the 0th trial day? Or is this actually day 1 of the trial? And then we go on to investigation, trial. Day 1. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Excuse me, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? What happened to your eye? I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? I don't... I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready. Oh, my. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty. I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. Very well. And the prosecution? Alright, what's going on with you, Simon? The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
Got a chip on your shoulder there, Mr. Blackquill? Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. He just went straight to it. He wasted no time. The prosecution is now ready. No holds barred, baby. Well, it didn't take him long this time. What's up with Blackquill? Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
I'll do it. You will? Oh, what an unexpected surprise. This time, I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today. Blackquill not toying with his food, and Apollo having more of a sense of purpose than normal. It's about to go down. You both seem different somehow. Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your opening statement, if you would. It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at Cosmos Space Center. Ah, that famous federal research facility of all things relating to astrology, right? Astronomy! It's astronomy! Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled. My word, 2 bombs? How dreadful. The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he a famous astronaut? Correct, your baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say, he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? Then, he had a mop top and everything. They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. That's why he has different hair. Because it's an actor. We've got a real space pioneer in court today. Yeah, as a defendant. But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand. Ah, yes, the victim was one Mr. Clay Terran, a subordinate to the defendant. Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? To shreds, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. And so, he was sent not to space, but to the universe, which we mortals cannot see. Clay. I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. What purpose does it serve exactly? since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin. Oh, have mercy on me! I jest. It's evidence. So, before the first courtroom bombing happened, Apollo already had his eye covered up. Now I'm even more intrigued on what's going on with that bandage. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Whew! I feel like I just lost 50 years of my life. Does he even have 50 years left? Damn, Athena. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. At least let Widget say it. Enough jabbering. Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. Detective Fulbright. Very well then. Please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building. Take a look at this cross-section that we police have created. See the launch pad in the main building? The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is this. Yeah, this is the main building, right? You've got it! The incidents took place in Launchpad 1 and in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Alright, we got a little bit more evidence to work with. Witness testimony! Don't break the fourth wall, Fulbright. Don't tempt the man with the taser! Ha ha ha! Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom! Can we give the case 2 booms? One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launchpad 1. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge, but after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. A murder on top of a bombing? Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct? Yep. Thinking he'd sabotage the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo. Yep, I'm plenty familiar with it. Oh my! Is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, Your Honor. It's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. Utility knife added to the court record. By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photograph? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in this photo? Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. Oh, does it? Not? Chekhov's capsule. I see. So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor, but where was the bomb that was in Launchpad 1 located? That That one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram report into the record. As they sparked a fire on the second floor of the main building and the middle level of the launch pad near the elevator. The trial's just starting, we're already in a bind. You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing, that'll be the key. Details of the case. Alright, so just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off, boom and boom. Let me see. Which of these statements is sussing? One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building and one on the Launch Pad 1. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were on Launch Pad 1 at the time. Oh, were they? Do you have anything more to say about that? Are you sure it was only the 2 of them? It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those 2. Yeah. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Silence.
The notion of a third party in Launch Pad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. Fingerprint recognition device? It sounds as futuristic and complex as a space center. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. And is there a record of the number of people that passed through that door yesterday? Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. And doesn't that mean it was possible that the director is the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28. Doing his job directing the launch. Besides, having an alibi, he has no motive. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. That we know of so far. Guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Hey! Bada bing! We got new evidence. From a press. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. They made it back as far as the boarding lounge. One of the 2 was found stabbed to death. And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were 2 of them. The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. That was the victim in the previous that was the victim in the previous trial. Or trial number 1. One of them was a detective. Yep. Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge. That's when they discovered the victim, along with the defendant. 2 witnesses, huh? One of them was a detective. I doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me. It's like he's trying to give us as little information as possible. Maybe Prosecutor Blackwill's got his tongue. Well, don't let that hold you back. Keep pressing until we get what we need. Alright. What's in this new evidence that might be of help to us? The fingerprint recognition system. Only the prints of Director Cosmos, Starbuck, and Terran are authorized. An independent security company manages the usage records. Backup power allows it to function even when power goes out. Attempts to use print recognition are also recorded via security camera. Alright, so we've got the boom. Well, might as well press everything. How powerful were the explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down, but the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation. Ha ha ha! Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? Ha ha ha! I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help. I'd go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe. I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is, but I guess I'll leave that one alone. Admirable decision, Justice Dono. Huh? What do you decide? Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at the time? The bomb cut the power to the central bank of the elevators and the third-floor lounge. The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators and the third-floor lounge, okay? It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup. And how did the evacuation go? I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. The basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. An emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. The Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Okay, we got an evacuation report now. Added to the court record. The power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. Guess I'll leave that aside for now. So, there were 2 explosions in total, correct? Yep, that's right. One on the 2nd floor of the Space Center. Okay, this is the last thing to press. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives. Oh, what are you talking about? If the defendant really did plant the bomb in his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well. No, I hadn't thought of that. Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. The defendant had astrophobia? The consummate astronaut has astrophobia? Astrophobia? What's that? A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. That's absurd. Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What are they? These anti-anxiety tablets are found amongst the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears. There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship.
Silence!
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name now, could he? No, not after the media branded him Saul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally. He constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. Duh. Now I'm sure you understand why we have bring justice down on this atrocious criminal. I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. If this is the truth, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime. Well, little I could get out of him only hurt my case. Justice Dono. Foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? That's like every other line from Apollo is, what is that? I mean, when you only started off with 2 pieces of evidence and now you have a full page. What is this, a tutorial? Footage from a security camera. As the 2 astronauts emerged from the bowels of the Launch Pad 1 corridor, the boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering, which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. What? Can I take a close look at that picture? Seems like I don't know if there's a knife in there. Order! Order, I say! This lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been asserting. I should have known Blackquill would have something like this ready. Apollo? How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage? Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at this point is pretty critical. And crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here, and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him? Why, I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence.
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dotard. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body. Explain. Fulbright, explain it to Justice Dono. You got it. Ready, kid. If the murder had occurred in the lounge, somebody could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge, after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of a different color.
Objection.
You can't deny there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All the video shows the man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence.
Your assertion is based, oh thank you, on emotion. I walked into that one. It's based in your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help out his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive. No. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic. But it sounded perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? Well, Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. What is it, Athena? It's just, there's something that's been bothering me. If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Yeah? And it's tanned your hide twice now, so... Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Yes. Huh. You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds? After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your baldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown. Oh! Ready? Damn. You don't have time. Spit it out, Athena. Only 3 more seconds. Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained. Something didn't explain. Something didn't explain. You're right. I think I know what you're talking about. Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you would like to refute? Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There's something the prosecution is yet to make clear to this court. Well, if you put it that way, what is it the prosecution has failed to explain? Motive for the murder, why the body was moved. They did talk about the motive. They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? Oh, that's true. I didn't think we'd heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? Behold! The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim, he was helping him. Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Spaceboy moved the victim. Huh? They gotta be joking. It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera so there'd be a record. At the very least, he appears to have achieved excess with you and the old man. Ah. Yep. The judge waxing poetic. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sub-story fit for the silver screen. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story. You see, yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Huh. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion!
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion!
Silence.
Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin beside the witness stand, that would be a bomb transport case. We used that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge, a bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. What? On the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 fireworks displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence would surely have been immolated.
Objection!
At least let me object. Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. It's like he's reading my mind. As it is still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. You found what? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Center director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble-brained that he is. No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that! Down we go. Justice Dono, open your eyes and see the truth! This appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions. No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it? You'll believe in your client come what may? Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? This has got to be a trap. It's like Blackwill's controlling the entire game. Yeah, it seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body-moving issue. Why do you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. To really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. Then making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan, too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Huh. Now, let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. How did this happen? Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give your testimony? No. Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. You're being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Terran. Please testify to these allegations. Mind if I take this suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore. And play among the stars? Wow, That was super negative. Is he gonna be alright up there? He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. I didn't kill him. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of that rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him. So you assert you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim? I bet you think I'm lying, right? I reserve all judgment until after I have heard your full testimony. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who would wear a suit like that except an astronaut? I will say that when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy. I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I really don't care what happens anymore. Oh no, he's completely given up? Who's sighing now? What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sighing of yours would rub off on the other inmates. Like how it rubbed off on Professor Blackquill a second ago? Huh? That was Blackquill sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find out the truth. All you do is support Clay over your shoulder and get us out of that rocket. What's the security camera video? Oh. Wait. Is he over his shoulder? Yeah, he is. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. The corridor, you're saying? Okay. The middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him. Alright. Let's start pressing. So what you're saying is that the victim was still alive at the time? Of course. He was alive and well.
Silence.
If so, then you admit you took a man who was alive and well and silenced him permanently with this. What? No! The black hole confirmed. Dead ahead. It's no good, Captain. I'm getting sucked in!
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you're not in space. Please give your testimony seriously. It was just nerves. Maybe I shouldn't have said he was alive and well. It was more like he was slumped over. Those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Okay, this is very straightforward. Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area? That's right. You always use it to get to and from the cockpit. That makes sense. So he was just using the route he always used, in spite of the fact that there had just been an explosion? Huh? I think Mr. Starbuck is hiding something. Something pretty big. Yep, that's a, because the explosion happened on the middle level. Why would you go down to the level with the explosion on it? Yeah. if you look at the bombing report, is that the middle? Hold on a second. So the bombing happened on the middle level. Yeah, which is sandwiched in between the top and the middle. So it happened right there.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where the bomb went off in Launch Pad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level of the elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right! Which means... Exactly. The launch pad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. What's with the helmet? Ah! Mission Command! Mission Command! Do you read me? Come in, please! This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention! Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck. My helmet! My oxygen tank! Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining. Requesting medical assistance. Bit dramatic, innit? Mr. Starbuck, we're not in space right now. Stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up. I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle-level elevator? I, was nervous, and I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually, took a different route. I think. A different route? I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean probably. Probably. It's understandable to be nervous. But let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court. Alright. Once more with feeling. Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe. Probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator? That's right. There was a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we could make our escape that way. And the capsule you mentioned, and I suppose you mean that thing next to Mr. Terran here. Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah. That capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With a spacesuit on, clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important. I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is writing on your testimony. You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the roles are reversed here. That the one who passed out was Mr. Armstrong, and the one who's carrying him is Mr. Terran, and then the murder happened after that. So when someone came in and then used the knife on Mr. Terran, after Mr. Terran probably either passed out or was trying to take a breather after doing all of this rescuing. But that's just a theory. That's not really based in anything right now. He seems to really, because the thing is that Armstrong, he's being really evasive and trying real hard to convince everybody that he did the good deed. And it would probably be embarrassing for him if he was the one who passed out and had to be saved by someone who is a little bit more green than him. Maybe I am guilty after all. Wonder if you can see the stars in prison. I mean, it's more comfortable than a spaceship. Just testify, my man. So, what happens if I press this one? We only have 3 statements. How can you mistake such a basic fact? Hey, everybody makes mistakes, but try thinking about the vastness of space instead. From Earth, it takes 4 light years to travel to our nearest neighboring star. See? Compared to the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant. I wish he'd consider it just a little more significant than 0. Enough jabbering! Get on with your testimony! You remember now, you took a different route. Maybe, probably. Yep. I'm getting the impression he wasn't awake for the actual rescue because he didn't do it. Maybe, probably. Did I hear you right, Mr. Starbuck? I didn't say either of those things. Mission control, come in, please. An error has occurred in the sound system. Activate the emergency tin can telephone. Oh no! Tin can telephones are ineffective in the vacuum of space! Stop this nonsense, or I will sever you and your tin can telephone! Oh god, not the tin can telephone. Alright, I'm begging you, I'll tell the truth. Just don't sever anything. Apollo, is he gonna be alright? I'm starting to think he's not. Let's see. So about when we were running away, with the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. The upper level of the launch pad area? That's right! That's what I said, isn't it? Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you had clay over your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand. Yeah, it's really important, so I couldn't let it get burnt up. So even though clay was really heavy, couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said is hidden yet. You know what you have to do with that statement? Justice, Dono! Yes, I know. I've come this far, no turning back now. Time to present some evidence. So Mr. Starbuck escaped with clay in the capsule, which means it's just like in the footage. I can see why he couldn't run, though. Must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could have even walked under those circumstances. Walking straight forward is about all I would have been able to manage. Yeah. How in the heck would you be able to go down a ladder carrying all that? You're not a Call of Duty protagonist who can hold a gun with 2 hands and then go down a ladder with just your feet. I don't know why I'm pedaling my feet on the ground right now. Nobody can even see that. Yeah. I have to present the ladder, don't I? It's like, yeah, If you were just moving in a straight line, that's fine. But you're telling me you went down a ladder while holding while you had a person up there? Well, you would be holding. Yeah, let me represent.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? Hey man, you're getting your ass handed to you by the same piece of evidence twice. Cause, like I said, you had the capsule right here, and you had your friend of 200 pounds right here, and, you know, maybe you could have held on to the ladder, but this is not how you climb down a ladder. You would not be able to get out of there in time. The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue. No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue. Yeah, that's it. God damn it, man! The truth, Mr. Starbuck! The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks! Mr. Justice, witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Nunny? Not as long as this was along the escape route. I'm guessing it's the ladder, but let's see. To get down from the upper to the middle level where Launchpad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Of course. That was the only way we could escape. But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds. Oh. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
Objection!
This guy is just all over the place. The space center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say? Oh. So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now! Engineer! Where's an engineer? Oxygen leak detected due to faulty maintenance. Evacuate immediately! What the? He's flying the coop! Help! I'm caught on the ceiling! Help? Anyone? Bailiff! Prepare the cherry picker! We must launch our rescue mission at once! Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned. I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Never meet your heroes, folks. Except for All Might. You can meet All Might. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes. I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Not that. Anything but that. What's going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. It appears Spaceboy is prone to deception. Witness! Yikes! Yes? I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect. Prosecutor Blackquill, please don't talk about that. Explain, Prosecutor Blackquill. Didn't I already state that Spaceboy is ironically terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Oh? I sense things are about to nosedive. You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be? Was his drink spiked, perhaps? Somebody must have slipped them to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember, because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't really remember what happened. What? Order! Order in the court! We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, that certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? Guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space. Maybe I really did do it? Which brings us to the answer of our original question of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. It does? So, what is it? A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Dono. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. Oh my! I see. So then the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Objection!
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectable thing? Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself. So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Don't get ahead of yourself, baby. What's this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am, for they fracture easily when struck.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its marks on the body. Yet, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence.
A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection!
Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should, and yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to the target. What are the chances? I mean, it's hard to argue with the results, unless something else tore the hole and someone put the knife in through the hole. You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself with knowledge of how the suits work. He's got me there. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, He shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Gah! Here, the report regarding the astronauts' oxygen tanks. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx. Victim's tank was ruptured with 0% left. The defendant had 80%. Remaining oxygen is displayed on the left shoulder. Hey, this report is pretty detailed. The display. Let's see. The display in the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. That says 50. That's our smoking gun. That is our smoking gun. That's on the right is Terran, and on the left is Armstrong. Because it says, yeah. Guess that means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen in the tank. Alright, everybody. Give me an honest answer. Who has seriously used the word cyan in their vocabulary, their regular vocabulary? You take one look at a light blue color and you say, that's cyan. Sometimes, if I see a soft pastel purple, I will call it lavender or fuchsia. And you know, if I see a soft yellow, I'll call it beige. Cyan is so specific. Of course you'd raise your hand. You genuinely use it? You like Azure more, though. I wonder why. You went to school with a girl whose name was pronounced Cyan, so it ended up in rotation. That is very fair. See? I asked a question, I got an answer. Yeah. One color that's in my lexicon is amethyst, because Knuckles the Echidna, his eyes are purple, and they described him as them being amethyst, so that kind of entered into my lexicon there. There are a couple of gem-related ones. What early gaming franchise has a oh, Dark Cloud. Yeah, I know a lot of the gems because of Dark Cloud. Pretty rarely, but Cyan isn't a stranger to you. Funny enough, I mean, if everyone was here in the very, very, very early days of my stream, everyone remembers that Cyan is a character in Final Fantasy VI. Harvest Moon? Oh yeah, the mines. Yep, I can see that being responsible for my knowledge of amethyst and other gems. Yeah, early in streaming in mid 2022, I played Final Fantasy VI, and Cyan is a very well known character, so I don't know. I guess I associate it with the character more than the color. But I don't. But my lexicon does not usually go to that as the color. All right, chat. What other lesser used color names do you use on the regular? Starbuck is done for. I'm going to prison instead of space. Oh, great. Am I gonna do the Space Corps as the voice for Starbuck? Space boy? Yes? Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful, even when viewed through bars. You mean the stars as seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. That's not half bad thought. Mr. Starbuck, Prosecutor Blackquill got to him good.
Airship prison cell. Fly me, my guilt, and my despair into the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together!
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Oh, yes.
Yes, Apollo?
You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you were an incredible man. He said you'd never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation.
He said that.
So don't give up now, and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Terran. For Clay. Huh. You're wasting your breath. Rah. We're having ourselves a Robin Newman moment. Hey, does this man have his groove back? Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now. The rain is gone. Mr. Starbuck! I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission. Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. After that, we'll get you back into space. Rah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul! He's on fire! I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash! The sun, the moon, all of space is calling me, Solomon Sol Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Hey, he achieved flight for a few seconds there. Well, I feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through. If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness? Yeah, I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackquill. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. Awesome. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfilled. I've got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Just think. If the only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and if Clay was already dead by the time this footage was taken, the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is, if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge, in which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now let's see. about this data that we just received. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. If I'm gonna prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Ugh! Enough of this farce, your baldness! Let's have your verdict!
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackquill, you seem to be quite a hurry to rush the verdict. What about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now? It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, while Mr. Terran's had 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course! Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of the case. Take a look here at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. It contradicts the security footage.
Take that!
And how does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here. Now, how can Mr. Starbuck have 80% after he had 50%, huh?
Take that!
50 doesn't drop to 80. However, 50 can drop to 0. Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran. It appears to say 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. The oxygen in the tank increased. I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh, hi! You're absolutely right! What is going on here?
Silence!
I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection!
I'm going to bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Damn! Paula's got hands! Verbal hands. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it.
Silence!
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysteriously increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as a mere equipment malfunction. Ugh. Prosecutor Blackquill has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter-argument to this point, I am afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So, do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Of course I can. The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. So this man with a 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown as 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what should I be asking is not why did the oxygen level increase, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here? Think outside the box. Go from front to back. Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. They were going the other way. The victim is carrying the defendant. The tanks were damaged. The victim is carrying the defendant. What if it was the other way around? The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage, but it turns out this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. Nani? Order! Order! Mr. Justice! You mean to tell me that the person on the right in the image is the victim? Clay Terran? It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right. There's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
How short your memory is! Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection.
Prosecutor Blackquill, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Bigger pardon. It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder, and I suppose that matter needs further investigating, but we have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims, and opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. There were two people who claimed to be first on the scene. But can't we truly trust their statements? Let's see. The two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of those first two people on the scene. Score! Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand? Alright, who's speaking up? Oh, it's you. I have an announcement, everyone. Oh, wait. He has the robot voice, doesn't he? What's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode. Explode? Okay, so this is the end of the trial segment. A bomb? Now? Everybody run! Yee! I don't want to die! Oh no, everybody's panicking!
Silence.
Headless chickens with a death wish! The lot of you! Calm yourselves afore all else! Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here! What about Mr. Starbuck's dream? Who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way. Hey, let me go. Apollo, Juniper, She hasn't evacuated yet? Juniper! Are you alright? Apollo, no! Not that way! I can't believe Apollo Justice dies in Case 4 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies. Oh man, what a nail biter. Did he live? Oh, look at that. We're starting investigation. We're starting the investigation day 1. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. But somehow, his eye was already bandaged up before then. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Ms. Woods' name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Destinies. You think he's fine? He's on the box art of the next game. Is he? Is he? Let me see. Spirit of Justice. Yep. Yes, he is. Apollo's a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Destinies like that, on top of all of his other injuries. Apollo's resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. Don't we know it? The next game is a very Apollo-centered story. Really? I guess then we can call it the Apollo Justice Trilogy. What an awful turn of events. Never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy so down. You won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people! This is no time to be moping around. Now dry those eyes, both of you. You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities! Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Take over what exactly? Apollo's Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbucks' defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Nope, can't believe he's dead. Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta speed, Keed. Wait, right now? Better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I better catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you. Juicy seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back. Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, documents, my bag. Sounds more like you forgot everything. You can always count on Athena for that, too. Alright, you two, let's be careful out there. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous even I've heard of him. That's right. He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about him. Well, I'm excited to meet the man. Damn! That kaboom just blew up his house of cards. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yeah, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Wright and I have got you covered. You're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my own trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes. He seriously got to stop depressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck! Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like, shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? Shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Yeah, here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is it really all that takes? So, you have no memory at all of the incident? Good lord. Everyone, make sure your seatbelts are on and you've got appropriate headrest. The whiplash this man is going through. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? You got it wrong. Told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know? Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle? That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take the drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of an astronaut I know. but the tranquilizers are found in your system. Whiplash. Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe someone slipped them to you. Exactly. That's what I thought. It must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small, like about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah. Staff who work on machinery, a lot, are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. There's the victim's blood in it from a set of utility tools used by the Space Center techs. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. And I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed it the Hat One Miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to, but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. Chilling. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way! Of course not. Even now, I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless. You have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is a man's final frontier, an unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. My man out here face-rolling sci-fi references. The cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. Okay, the victim, Clay Terran. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time, too. And I always feel encouraged, too, whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, even when they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like part of the staff. One time during Zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit, and the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So, I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? Wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. That prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through the barred windows. You're fine. Solomon Starbuck is fine. Everything is going to be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you! Phoenix Wright is fine! We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence, and have faith in us. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly. That's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. Sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. It's as if Apollo were still here with us. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto. Good idea. Let's go. Over to the entrance, baby. Wow. I was wondering what kind of place the Space Center would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah. Did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close? and based on the fact that we are in Phoenix's point of view, I'm going to surmise that he is the primary attorney behind this case. Oh, so check it out. Look at how brightly the JAXA logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. Really dig the stars and rockets motif it's got going. JAXA, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange pronoun? I mean, what is the GYA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? I must not say it. I can't say it. Chat, don't let me say it. If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated it to GAXA, or even Gaia. Man, okay, Gaia actually kind of goes hard. Huh. I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. Huh. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic shooter, full speed ahead. Who's this now? Oh, hello there. It's Captain Risk of Rain. He actually does have the same color scheme going on there. Yikes! Who's this geezer and what's he want?
Look upon me, and look well. Behold the great power of space science.
Pardon me, but you are?
My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center, the center of the cosmos.
Why you got a Mario star on your chest? Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. If this person is the Space Center's director, then that means... Aha! So you were one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? And who was the first to find the victim?
There were two of them.
Space Center Director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Cantisar.
That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police?
You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. Tell that to Team 4-Star. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way.
Huh, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you're appropriately grateful. Now go ahead, have at it.
I can already tell there's going to be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically?
Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind.
I believe to use the word specifically in my question. I believe he used the word specifically.
Attention all personnel! To your break stations! Prepare for break! Prepare for break!
Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. Athena, no filter psychs, everybody.
That is exactly right, because I am an important man. My manner is important.
Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that, here in the boundlessness of space.
What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I will tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project.
Considering we just heard about the Hat 1 project, that might not be something to be proud of.
You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it.
I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. Could you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day?
refuse.
Nani?
Explaining is a job for the common folk, not the director of the center of the cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom.
What? Does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow?
That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind.
Alright, chat, who would you say is the actual most glorious witness in the history of mankind? I'm sure the internet will probably say it's the clown girl. I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Unless at least try to ask him about things he might be willing to open up about. Tell me about Hat 1. The parrot, obviously. There you go. I think any Ace Attorney fan will go straight to the parrot. The parrot is the answer to many questions. The Hat 1 was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home?
I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well. I will impart to you the incomplete story of the Hat 1 project.
Oh, thank you very much. / at ease.
Hat 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. And Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that fight. Eventually, the Hat 1 reached its planned orbit, from where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat 1 returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle occurred, right? Is Hat 1 supposed to be a analogous to Apollo 7 or what was it was Apollo 7, right? Or was it Apollo 13? Okay, it was Apollo 13. It was either the lucky number or the unlucky number. So is Hat 1 supposed to be analogous to Apollo 13? Man, I remember that film was just took over the entire world, like unequivocally. It was all anyone talked about for the longest time. And I saw it once when I was just wee. So it's been so long and I was so young, I effectively haven't seen it. Correct! And it truly was a miracle. Of course, they had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago.
So, what kind of samples were they? What's in them?
The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years.
That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all.
In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of this space center. The public fell in love with space and all its glorious potential.
The moon rock, huh? I remember that being big.
Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos.
I hear that there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from the asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there.
What? Bite your tongue! It's not for anything so base as money or politics! It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind! And all for my illustrious mission! With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it!
Huh. I guess even a space program is to watch its budget. Tragically aged like fine wine. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so?
Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I am a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage.
Why do you suddenly start sounding like Patrick Stewart at the end there? That thing is surprisingly fast. Guess you better get going too. You bet. Let's make it. You hear that? You hear this? You think they're going to be able to squeeze in a reference to 42? I bring up Patrick Stewart, and then he said, and then we talked about making it so. Mods, ban Athena. Alright, so now we're at the interior, and there's a space seahorse. That's basically the planet Namek out there. So, this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yep, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building here on the right side, on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launchpad 1 after the explosion. You there! No admittance without express permission! We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate. Sorry, no one gets in without permission, not even the police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So, Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yep, but he's in Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him, then we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So, to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor, you just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door? It looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door that Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Ah, that explains it. The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass on through. Now come on, let's go! Alright, we're going to Launchpad 1 corridor. What thou must. It's a robot doing a vacuum. Those signs up there, how extremely Japanese. Even in space, safety first. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them use in their escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. Now I see the police tape down the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the Launchpad. After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. And the Launchpad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there.
What should I do? Which path is the path of justice?
He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor's a straight shot.
It's you lawyer people. Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying your relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing?
We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Got any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something?
Info on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you.
Huh? What just happened?
Detectives and lawyers, seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it! Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits! I'm in a generous mood today.
I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do?
That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub.
Okay, what is wrong with Fulbright? No, that's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Is this a play by Blackquill? Has Blackquill found evidence so incriminating that he tells Fulbright, just be the nicest individual you can be, lull them into a false sense of security. That'll make tearing them down all the sweeter. Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. Oh, mazel tov to, that one person in the Discord.
You were here at the space, though.
You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incident, weren't you, Detective?
That's right. I was here on a security assignment.
The police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that.
Yes. Well, you know us, to serve and protect. Ha ha ha! The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation.
He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened?
Of course! A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launchpad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate to the shelter.
The shelter?
That's right, there's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. That inconvenient text is covering it up. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like.
So, where were you when the bomb first went off?
I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion. And the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way.
Then, wasn't it impossible to get down to the basement shelter?
No! We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take a look around for any survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed for the shelter.
Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder kinda sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful.
Just a moment. I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackquill, okay?
Wow, Prosecutor Blackquill usually has you on a short leash, too.
Well, never mind that. Aha! I thought you should know that there was a witness.
Oh dear. Is this witness decisive? Could you tell us more about this witness?
Sure thing! The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge.
So, she was looking into the crime scene from the outside?
That's right. It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important.
Oh, really? Chance, you say?
I don't know.
Usually chance can be explained. It's manipulated chance.
Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though.
It's the best girl? Oh, man. Do you know how little that narrows it down? You don't? That's the most important thing of all.
Ha ha ha! Don't you worry. I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her.
A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright. Thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even.
Yes, well, actually,
something you can't talk about.
Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now.
What was that all about? You know what the most suspicious thing about that whole conversation was? I don't think I heard "In Justice We Trust" a single time. That's how you know something is wrong with this man right now. Something's definitely going on. I'm going to get it out of him the next time I see him. Okay. Not so sure we'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Ah, you two. Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said he should bring you some snacks or give you a neck rub too, if you'd like. Oh, that's alright, but thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now let's see. Where's that diagram again? So the lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person then. Read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem, though. This room. It's just so big. Don't worry. We can use this to help us. Space Center pamphlet for tourists. Yep. Picked it up at the entrance. The map's insight should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that's the door at the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Oh, very specific. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? It's a space seahorse! Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh, yeah. I knew that. That's a relief. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet, anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is that you can push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Just look for the button while we're looking for clues. Alright, fine. Let's get investigating. Guess that's where our friend plopped over. So this is where they discovered Clay. Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. So it's stretched out like this and, what's that thing that looks like a thermos? That's the thing that Prosecutor Blackquill mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. He said that it contains asteroid samples. Oh, right. Director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? That they were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe that the Hat 1 launched. Wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? Let's think about that after we've solved the case, okay? Or maybe it's relevant to the case. You never know. That's some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourself, it says. If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says it's a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. Can a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? Well, let's talk about that then. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is torture device. And I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity? Uh-oh. Athena has a bit of an odd glint in her eye. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her. I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me. Hey, Mr. Wright, look at that up there! Huh. Some kind of fragment. It's stuck in tight. Oh, so that's what that glint was all about. That color looks familiar. I think it's part of that oxygen tank. I think you're right. But if that's here, it means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. So Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both of the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So, Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Ha! Way to go, Apollo. At first glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape. But then there's that creature. Did the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what its surface looks like. I don't know. I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. It did make quite a bit of news, though, when the probe came back. Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet. It went to an asteroid. That's a big rock kind of thing. Even aliens can't live there. Window? It's right next to the holographic image, too. I bet it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off, it says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire. See? It's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality! Just take the L, Athena. So, looks like there are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet! We are here at this place that says Boarding Lounge 1. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually say West, East, and South in a case like this, you know. Details, details. Anyway, take a look at the West door. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here on the map, Launchpad 1 corridor. So, that's where we were with the detective. It was filled with smoke after the explosion. Right, next up, the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. That's the door with the satellite dish icon to signify communication, aka the control room. Yep, definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side. They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. So, it's the center of the Space Center, the Space Center Center, if you will. At first we had the Mock trial, and now we have the Space Center Center. Does everybody start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here a while? But it seems that they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission, so this control room was empty at the time. I've always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, and since we're here, I'd love to do that too. That doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go through. With that much security, I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena. So apparently the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies. Hey, we got evidence. Okay, what about that last door? This lower door. Oh, excuse me. I mean, south door. It leads to the elevators. This is the door we came through. We entered this room, right? Yep. And of course, there was no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone. But the elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion. Well, that's about it for the 3 musketeers of the boarding lounge. Thanks. Understanding the layout of the lounge should help us understand the case. That's why I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. So how many angles do we have here? We have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. What's this harness? Oh, it's shining. Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. A bullet? A bullet which was stopped? Was the actual murder weapon a gun? And the knife is a red herring? What's this? Looks like a metal jelly bean. It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see. That would make the caliber, .10? Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yeah. Never heard of a 10 caliber gun before. .10, .10. This bullet must be for a special kind of gun. I bet if you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular-sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, must have been a really small gun. Wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left on the south door side of the room, according to this map. That's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us just the card we need. Or is it being left out there on purpose by Blackquill? That might be all we needed to find in this corner of the room. Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy, I want to try it! Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do mid-air somersaults. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. Well, at least I could jump really high. There's a sign on the wall that very clearly says, "Don't jump too high." Then what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon? What's this? Trapdoor? It's a trash chute. The cleaning robots throw the garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? Huh. What a futuristic world we live in. I just hope they don't revolt like they do in science fiction movies. No way. All the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? You can go say hi to it if you want. Alright. Treat your robots nicely. One might be doing your surgery in the future. Wonder what this big knob is for. Looks like the knob on a stove. Well, it's the same shape. I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove would require knob security like this? Well, the knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right. If it was for a stove. Still, wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove? How about a rocket engine? You had to start the engine here. The rocket would take off before you could get in. And I guess all we can say for now is that it's a mystery knob. Athena Monkey D. Sykes. Or Athena D. Luffy. I understand it's a mystery knob. So, this is the fingerprint recognition device. Guess you put your hand on this hand mark. Why, guessing you can try. Now, I'll line my hand up with the outline. Don't, Athena! This thing is related to the case! Get your prints all over that, and the next thing you know, you'll be named a suspect! Ah, how can you be so cruel to a little girl like me? I'm not buying those tears, Missy. I raised a little girl for like 7 years. I know what fake tears look like. Now have a juice box, Athena. Ooh, juice! Let's see. The door is... Where's that pamphlet? Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. Went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. So, I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? They say the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. This thing beside the door, this must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackquill talked about it at the trial. The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device, and allow me to state up front that there are precious few people with the clearance to do so. Then, does this mean that the bomber's prints were verified by the system? The number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. Voila! Fingerprint powder! I brought it just in case something like this came up. Wow, it only took us until the 4th case to get access to it. I found it at the office. I've been just itching for a chance to use it. Wow, way to think ahead. Now, let's dust the fingerprint recognition device and see what we can find. You got it! Now to sprinkle some here, a little over there, and... whew! Man. No forced touchscreen integration here. Oh, we got something. Nah, it's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure wish we could figure out whose prints these are. Although, I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints on the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right. There's security footage of this door, too. Yeah, here it is. It came up in court the other day. I wish we could see the part of the footage just after this bit. Hey, look! The knob is turned. If the knob is turned, that is going to come up later, I know it. Is the knob the emergency... is the knob the emergency power option? And the handprint is, like, only if you have power? Just spitballing. Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's ask the detective. With the mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away. Yeah, he's in almost too good of a mood today. Let's go see if we can find him again once we're done with this room. Let's see, did I see everything over here? Or is this, does this knob control the creature outside? La criatura. Seems to me like we might be wrapped up in here. Oh, no. There's this whole angle. This whole angle we haven't done. These are apparently oxygen capsules, there for recovery after a training session. Wonder if they can change your voice. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Athena really is the type of person who sees a desk fan, and her first thought is to go straight up against it and start going, ah. Huh? Didn't do a thing. It's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. Oh, what's in here? We got a little something something hidden in the table. There's some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it here. Just push it. That's the invariable principle of buttons. There are such things as buttons left unpushed. The creature died. I can't believe the space seahorse dies in Case 4 of Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Day 1, Investigation 1. Hey, the giant holographic image disappeared. Yeah. Though that side of the wall seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can't find anything new with the image off. Oh, a mirror. How thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful. So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know. You never know when you're going to run into some other life form, after all. I doubt anybody who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. I don't know. I'm sure there's some anime out there where there's a team of 5 astronauts, and one of them is the girly pop who always has her makeup on point. Oh wait, what is that? What was that? Oh, that looked like a cobweb at first. It's actually a crack in the window. Was the bullet fired into this window? Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this. It looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It seems woven like a spider web, though. It's pretty big. Whoever fired this shot must have been using a pretty large gun. You think so? Based on my experience, I'd say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right? Apparently. This is an important fact. Do you see a bullet around anywhere? No. The police might have taken it, though. Oh, man. We've got a bullet hole, and we've got a bullet. A bullet hole and a bullet. A bullet hole and a bullet. Ugh. Where's Edgeworth when you need him to put pieces of evidence together? We need a eureka moment. By the way, the bullet hole is looking a lot less like a spider web. Let's ask Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later. Welcome to the Space Center, guests. Welcome. Yikes! What in the world? My name is Ponko. Ponko, Ponko. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. It's a robot? I am not a robot. I am Ponko. Psychological observation and navigation companion. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Giving me real Robin vibes with the spelling it out. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Oh, Ponko, I've missed you. Huh? You know this thing, Athena? Oh, she, showed us around last time when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Punko. That's a good girl. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm so happy, so very happy. Wow, a guide robot. That's pretty cool. My name's Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. I don't know you. That's my purse. Phoenix, get out of range from him. Out of her. Get away from the robot's range. You know what that means. Ouch. That hurt. Oh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine, too. His name is Phoenix. A bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. Registering. Facial registration sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. Huh. This robot is pretty cute. You made a friend, boss. Isn't it great? Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. Oh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where?
December 19th.
That was 5 days ago. Cosmos Space Center, Space Museum. Oh, wow. What is this place? Is that rocket real? And what's with the metal slug aliens to the right? Welcome! Welcome! The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Learn about the history of our nation's space development and the Hat 1 project. The rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. The Space Museum? Oh, here it is on the map. Okay, so it's on the exact opposite side of the main building from Launchpad 1. Space Center pamphlet updated. In the court record, now it's got 3 pages. Ask me anything, anything. I will explain. This is quite the place. I can't believe we get to see a rocket this close up. This is a replica of the Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. It's exactly like the real Hat 1, inside and out. Its little brother, the Hat 2, was supposed to launch the other day. I wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out! Spacesuits, photos, newspaper articles. I'd like to come here again on my day off. Hey, what's this a photo of? Hey, it's people. So we've got the victim, we've got the defendant, we've got the captain, and we got 2 best girls over here. Phoenix, that's the staff of the Hat 1 project. Oh, and there's the actual best girl beneath the jury over there. Oh, there's Mr. Starbuck. Huh. He looks so young and so different. Ah, and that's... What is it, Athena? Something wrong? Oh, nothing. I just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young too, that's all. Well, it says 7 years ago after all, so the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck is Clay Taryn, the victim. So, they were mentor and protege even way back then. He's even got one of those staff jackets. It looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Huh, okay. That makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everybody looks so happy. This space museum is great. What fantastic exhibits. Hey, yo, wait. Why is there a rip in that one, You see it, right? There's a rip in that suit right there. To the left, right above Ponko's name. That's gonna be evidence. This area used to be Launchpad 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of the budget cuts. Budget cuts, budget cuts, we need more money, money! Who would record that kind of information into a guide robot? While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched a probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmos said too. He told us it came back the day before Clay was killed. And here it is, the Hope Space Probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. Let's see. Oh yeah, the capsule that the victim was carrying. I think it had the same logo. I think it can be seen in the photo attached to the autopsy report. Maybe she'll give me some more info if I show it to her. But first, we yap. The way the Space Center launchpad is set up is really cool. Would you like me to tell you about it? Would you? The setup of the launchpad? Go gentle on my spiky-haired mind. I wanna know! Phoenix wants to know too. Right. Now Athena's got a case of the punkoitis. Doesn't itis refer to any inflammation? So punkoitis would be inflammation caused by Ponko. Right? Hooray! I will tell you then. The rocket is built right inside the launchpad structure. When the rocket is complete, it's moved along with the launchpad over the rails and brought into position at the launch site. Swoosh! Isn't it cool? Isn't it? We used to have a big budget, so that's how we could build it all. It is very cool. A grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. I guess everyone is hoping for a bigger budget next year. Myself included. I'm guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is! But it can also be operated from the new command center, too. Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to first be disengaged. I guess before a big move like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I would love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold. Because of the bombing and the murder, I'll bet. Which is perfectly understandable. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching data. I'm sorry. That answer isn't in my answer database. The question was, when was the last time it was moved? Uh-oh. Somebody purged that info, I'll bet you. I guess Ponko can only answer certain questions. Alright. I want to look... Actually, Oh, I can't examine, I can only present. What did I want to present again? Phoenix wanted to present something. It was related to something back there. Yeah. I think it was this one. Nope. Really don't know anything about that. Oh, wasn't it the people? Yeah, the people associated with the launch. This facility is Yuri Cosmos' greatest achievement. Oh? Didn't realize it was the personal achievement of just one man. Director Cosmos taught me to say it like that. It's actually a facility for space development, but don't tell anyone I said that. How could Director Cosmos teach such a pure and innocent robot to lie for him? Hey! Ponko! I'm an attorney! Aww. Could have registered it. Was it this one? Gives us that spiel whenever I sew anything related. Alright. Really thought Ponko would have something to say about a couple of these things. Maybe he's letting out the oxygen tanks. Nope, nothing new. You really don't have anything to say about a lot of these things, huh? Not even the bullet or the bullet hole? Alright. Ponko. Oh, the capsule, that's right. I completely forgot that the capsule was in the photograph, which was in the autopsy report. That's like a chain of like 3 or 4 things deep. Ponko, do you recognize this capsule here in the top right? Checking registered data. I know. It's the Hope capsule. It was carried inside the Hope probe. It contained the asteroid samples, right? Yes, it was designed to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. It's been stored in the safe in Launchpad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. It must not be removed. It must not be removed. Don't worry, Ponko. The people in charge already know what happened. They do? They do? I must ask them later. So the capsule was being kept in Launchpad 1, huh? Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. The Space Center's staff must have been really excited to finally get the capsule back. But it's a pity this incident occurred before they got a chance to check the contents. Well, the police took it as evidence, so they'll have to wait a little longer. Hey, we got the capsule added to evidence. Well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Ponko. You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. It's hard to believe you two just met recently. Ha! It's because Ponko was so friendly. Well, what should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have things to ask him about. Let's see, the security footage and the fingerprint data, was it? Okay, let's go back to Launchpad 1 corridor. Bye, Ponko. See you later. Come again, and don't forget to visit the gift shop. Or Ponko. What a Dickensian life we are forced to lead. Come on, I want to examine the ripped jacket. Man. Alright, you still have the corridor, Mr. Fulbright. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? There's Detective Fulbright. He still seems to be lost, even though it's a straight corridor. Let's hope he's still in a cooperative mood as well, then. If he doesn't cooperate, let's have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress bit? We found a bullet hole in the wall of the crime scene. You did? Our team found that too! It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm? That's right! A warning shot for the defendant! Was it really such a high-threat situation that she needed to do that? I am afraid I don't know the details, what with Detective Arm gone and all. But I thought there were two people who discovered the crime scene together? You already know Director Cosmos will testify, so tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart! That's exactly what we're planning to serve as the main course. Hope it goes down easy. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes! I happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackquill said to dig deep, so that's what I did. It sure took a while, though. Whoa, we got Apollos in my prints. You even got prints for all of the robots. I guess when Blackquill said to dig deep, Fulbright didn't bother to ask how deep. Clay's fingerprints are here too. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. I still can't believe he took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important in this case. There are a lot of doors that require fingerprint verification in the lounge. So, depending on whose prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense. After all, the culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprint lock somehow. Oh, and take this picture. It might come in handy. Isn't this just a photo of the Launchpad 1 door? Yep, but Prosecutor Blackquill seemed really interested in it for some reason. Huh? What's so important about this door? Beats me, but boy could you see the gears in his head go into hyperdrive at it. Sounds like this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. Hey, don't forget about the print comparison, boss. Right, Detective Fulbright. Do you think you could run the test for us right now? You just leave it to me. In justice we trust. Okay, there we go. At the very least, he's not completely gone loopy. Okay, here we go. Well, it looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. Must have opened it when they went to go board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for a space adventure right then. Launchpad 1 door lock updated in the court record. Alright, and we need to present the security cam photo. Wait, what? Oh, that was a court record. Detective, About the security footage that was taken by the boarding lounge 1 camera.
Oh, that footage? Go ahead and ask me anything you like about it.
Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this?
Easy as pie. I'd be glad to show you. Here we go.
Alright. Huh? The screen went blank.
Yes. Apparently, the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So, there's no footage after this point. Ha ha ha!
Why didn't you just say so from the beginning? The video ends immediately after this scene. Wonder what relevance is gonna come up from that plot point. Something definitely seems to be up with you, Detective. You're unusually cooperative.
Well, I just figure if we're working together, we'll get that much closer to justice, right?
After all, I have trounced you 2 times before. But it seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything like that.
Ooh, Magatama time, let's go. You can't hide the truth from us. Huh, it's been a while, but those are definitely psych locks.
Did you just mouth psyched? Is there something I should be psyched about?
No, psych lock. It's a system of locks on the secrets of a person's heart. I can see when people are trying to hide those secrets by using the power of this Magatama. Presenting evidence can break those locks and reveal any secrets they're hiding.
Mr. Wright, how much did they bilk you out for that piece of rock? If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to.
I am more than capable of representing myself, thank you very much. It isn't some kind of fraud. It really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you. Let's see what presenting the Magatama will reveal, shall we? Let's go into it. Only 2 locks. It's so interesting that we're getting all of these new mechanics. We're getting fingerprint analysis, and now we're getting the Magatama, all the way in Case 4. I think you're hiding something, Detective. So why don't you just tell us about it?
What to do? Which path is the path of justice?
Detective Fulbright is really in agony. I bet this is the issue he's so torn up over. Life, love, or justice. I mean, I really understand what's been bothering you, Detective. I truly do. Something happened that goes against your principles, isn't that right?
No. I don't know what you're talking about. Until the explosions occurred, everything was just fine.
Is that a fact?
Yep. Peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more lax guard detail for routine rocket launch.
I don't think the guard detail was as relaxed as you claim as long as this exists. As long as this exists. Wait, the guard detail was as... I don't think the guard detail is as relaxed. Space Center diagram. Also see the photo evacuation report. Police officer and riot police had been standing by. Gave the evacuation instructions. Police officers and riot police gave the evacuation instructions immediately. There was a power outage. The evacuees. So, yeah.
Take that!
Before the explosions, what was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch, and yet security was so tight, they even brought in a special task force. I'd hardly describe that as a relaxed guard detail.
Now, hold on just a moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was called in on a special security detail.
As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that's true. But I say it's very strange that this person would be part of the detail from the outset. Who was part of the security detail? Oh, the detective.
Take that!
Detective Arms specialized in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew that there was a possibility that a bombing would occur.
Oh, you got me, Mr. Wright!
Well, if being a detective doesn't work out for him, he could always go into opera.
Oh, I've been humbled. All right, I concede. You win. It's just as you say. A few days before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing, but the plan to launch went ahead in spite of the threat.
But why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed?
Yeah, I know! The decision to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it?
How was the warning delivered?
By phone, and directly to Director Cosmos. But the police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps.
That's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you're so upset.
But it's not only that. I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackquill as well.
Prosecutor Blackquill? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you had a lot of difficulties.
That's not it. It's a question of justice. I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court.
The reason he's still prosecuting? Detective Fulbright, please tell us everything you know. Seriously, I think that's been one of the background questions ever since case 2.
Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules.
Never mind that. What are rules but things to be broken, right?
Yeah, justice. Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular.
I think we guessed that much.
So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering and wondering about it.
So you weren't told why either, huh?
No, I guess the order came from pretty high up the ladder.
Yeah, it would have had to. Yeah, it would had to have. Oh my God, Phoenix, please.
But Prosecutor Blackquill told me once. The hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still.
That impersonation needs work. 7 years past? By the way, 7 years past. A phantom, huh? And not one of the friendly variety either, I gather. Is that a Casper the Friendly Ghost reference, or is that a reference to their previous game? Wasn't there a phantom in a previous Ace Attorney game? Someone going by the name Phantom of some such? Such a simple sentence, yet it twists the tongue. Exactly. It would had to have. I mean, now that I've said it so many times, I can say it. But yeah. The hunt I've been on for the phantom of 7 years past continues even still. Intrigue. This phantom of 7 years past, any idea who or what he was talking about?
Not a clue. But he seems to think that this phantom is behind this whole incident somehow.
Wait a minute. He thinks they may be connected to this case?
Yup. This case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone.
So that's why Prosecutor Blackquill thinks this incident is the work of the Phantom.
Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago... That's when Prosecutor Blackquill was found guilty of murder. That messy case is what started the whole dark age of the law.
Oh, okay. The answer to my question from last stream or the stream before, where I wondered what started the whole thing off, it wasn't Phoenix being disbarred, it was Blackquill getting arrested.
So you see how this phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell's conviction might be related.
Yeah, I can see why he'd think that. This incident in the Phantom, not to mention Blackwell's past, it's almost inconceivable that they would come to a head here. This might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackquill can't possibly believe Mr. Starbuck is this phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all.
The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
Nah, he wanted to be ready to cut someone down. He woke up and he chose violence, at least more so than usual.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Gah!
Yes, the part with the judge turning tail and fleeing was very important to that flashback.
No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbuck is his phantom. But I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to them. Which is why he's acting so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. And that's not real justice! I've always trusted in Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now. But this time, I'm just so overwrought about it all. If he's lost his ability to think rationally, I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction.
I've never seen Detective Fulbright so tormented. This must be why he's been so cooperative. Don't worry, that's exactly what we defense lawyers are working to prevent.
I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackquill, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time. But don't tell him that. You have to promise me you won't.
Detective Fulbright, I guess I was wrong about you.
I swore to perform for Prosecutor Blackquill and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. You are the only ones who can stop him in court.
You really care and want what's best for Prosecutor Blackquill, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. It's not like we want a guilty verdict either. I was hoping you'd say that I'm really grateful to the two of you. To show my thanks, I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a little while ago. Really? Let's go find her, Mr. Wright. Thanks, you two. I feel a lot better now that I have been able to get that off my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. In Justice We Trust on 3. 1, 2, 3. Chat, you two. In Justice We Trust. Okay, later. Ha ha ha. There he goes. Wait, were we supposed to say In Justice We Trust back there too? Let's go see that witness now. Alright, the Space Center entrance it is. Is it best girl time? Witness must be around here somewhere. Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. Don't tell me the witness is a robot. Hey, we got some In Justice We Trust. You did it right. I'm proud of you. Hello, come over here. Hello, hello. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you... I am Clunko. Shall I guide you? I don't know why, but this robot is kind of freaking me out. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. It's jury! Again. I've had it with you, hunk of junk. Gah! I'm outside. Am I wandering? When did that happen? Okay, welcome back, hunk of junk. You don't know how close you came. If you didn't snap out of it, I was going to put you on the curb on trash day. Nothing works better than a 42.5 degree karate chop. That's pretty specific. Excuse me, but are you the one who witnessed the murder? Oh, and I am Phoenix Wright, the lead attorney for this case. How do you do? Big shot lawyers, huh? I'm Aura Blackquill.
Nope. Nope. Can't do this. I'm out.
I'm a researcher developing robots here at the Cosmos Space Center. Blackquill? Could she be... And this good-for-nothing robot is named Hunk of Junk. My name isn't Hunk of Junk. My name is Clunko. That's me, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Ponko 2. Yeah, but Miss Aura, everyone calls me Clunko. Quit your squawking already. No, what are you doing? No, don't. There. I bet you won't be talking back now. Yeah, I will obey completely. Yikes! I better watch what wires I cross with this one. Your last name is Blackquill. Do you have a relative in the legal profession? You are correct. Simon Blackquill, who used to be a prosecutor, is... Shut up. Only speak when I order you to speak. Simon is my little brother. You know him? Yes. We met him in court a few times. Right, Athena? What's up with you? What a dull creature. Has her switch been turned off? Athena being shy? This is new. Oh yeah, I heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison, right? Hey, what do you think, hunk of junk? God, Miss Aura, that hurts. I'm asking you a question. Why don't you answer me, useless hunk of junk? But Miss Aura, you told me only to speak when you ordered me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more as scrap. Robot abuse, hawk attacks. Blackquill family life must sure be interesting. Well, do you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. It's not like I'm on Simon's side or anything. I just want to get this over with. So, you're the person who witnessed the incident. That's right. I was on the 4th floor of the main building, in the robotics lab. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Must have been a very troubling experience. Probably best to just humor her here. Then, as I passed by the 3rd floor, boarding the lounge one window on my way down, I saw the crime as it happened. And that's about it. So, you saw the crime scene as it happened, and that's about it. I see. Wait, what? You saw it being committed? This is no time to just nod and repeat. So, you saw into the 3rd floor lounge, the very scene of the crime. That's right. There's a small window on the right-hand side of the room. I looked through it from the outside. The room was pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter in their left hand and a knife in their right. That must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. The power was out on that floor then, and there was only that tiny window. I see. But you did witness the moment of the murder. Yes, I saw the figure with the lighter raise their knife and... It happened precisely at 10 a.m. Did you witness anything else? Did the killer have any distinguishing features? I already told you it was pitch black in there, although I did notice that the lighter the person had in their left hand had a pretty ornament on it. It looked like a planet. It was blue, like a little Earth emblem. They had good taste in knickknacks anyway. An Earth emblem on the lighter? I better remember that. Gee, a blue Earth emblem. If only we could see something similar to that. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbuck's innocent with it. Yeah, right. I won't hold my breath. Explain. Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. I just detest lawyers. That's all. What don't you like about lawyers? It's just an instinctive dislike. But don't feel bad. I hate prosecutors even more. That didn't make me feel any better, actually. Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past. The whole legal system is meaningless in the first place. I certainly don't agree. I mean, people are imperfect. They lie. They're influenced by silly emotions. You can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better, even sad sacks like this one.
Oh, damn!
Look alive there! Yeah, yes, here I go. I mean, to be fair, if doing that to a robot recharges it, and there's no damage done, then we can't exactly equate that one-to-one to shocking and organic being. Alright, that's enough out of you. You're getting a little too carried away. Gah! What was I doing? Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want them. Unlike humans, with their petty emotions and constant worries. How can you say such things?
Oh. She has a problem with it because of Widget right there.
Feeling emotions? Worrying about the things we care about? That's what makes us human! Oh, and also she's a psychiatrist. Wow, these two are antithetical to each other now that I think about it. Well, the girl finally talks, and she starts with a speech. That's what makes us human? You mean getting angry and snorting like that? Rational thought. That's what separates humans from animals. Unfortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. But that's nothing to be ashamed of. It must be nice to have such a simple mind. You are one step removed from getting a Frieza voice, Aura. Can I punch her, boss? Get a hold of yourself, Athena. Humans certainly are absurd. I said you were clever, didn't I? Poor thing. Tell me, with people like you in charge, how can I possibly trust the legal system? It's a bit more than that, as I'll learn. Alright, I'm down for the truth coming out in bits and pieces. So she distrusts not only lawyers and prosecutors, but the whole legal system? What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? Even if somebody important to me was killed, I would never wish to see their killer brought to trial, because I'd much rather kill the man myself. You can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. Oh, this? Around Athena's neck? Does she mean Widget? Oh, I get it. Well. Her Royal Highness has returned at last to her castle. I imagine that Aura does an extremely sarcastic and mocking curtsy right here. Alright. I have a feeling the lore drop is about to happen. Her royal what? Is she talking about Athena? By the way, I heard the rumors. Our director is going to be the star witness in court tomorrow, right? Director Cosmos. Yeah, that's right. You poor things. You'd better be careful. That old man is a big liar and a huge braggart. Nani? He might seem like a bigwig, but the center has all kinds of problems. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet. But it's your problem. Why should I care? What? That's it? No friendly tips? No good luck, guys? Just splendid. I mean, it's consistent with her character. Why would she wish you luck if she hates all legal peoples? I'll leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk of junk. Athena, you got some splaining to do. It's sad to me she doesn't believe in our legal system anymore. She must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. Are you alright, Athena? You seem very down. I just can't believe she said all those things. Wow, she's really upset. Has she been trying to not let it show all this time? Well, I guess it's not all that surprising. You hear about fabricated evidence and false indictments on the news all the time. You mean that whole dark age of the law nonsense? I'm so sick of hearing about that. Well, all I can do is believe in what we're doing. Yeah, you're right, boss. I agree. Maybe it's time we went back to see Mr. Starbuck. Good idea. We should tell him about the bullet and Miss Blackwill's statement. Alright then. Next up, the detention center. It's time for the customary pre-trial detention center visit. And there he goes again. My lawyers are here. Must be bad news. Hey, not necessarily. We found a new witness. A researcher saw the moment of the murder through the lounge window during her escape. Really? So, they're gonna let me go? Unfortunately, it was dark and she couldn't identify the person. I should have known. My stars never align just right, too. We got a lead too, Mr. Starbuck. The murderer had a lighter with an Earth emblem on it. A lighter with an Earth emblem? Oh! Did you remember something? Yup, I sure did. Just a little bit, though. Anything at all would be a help, so please tell us what you remembered. I thought I was unconscious the whole time, but now I remember I woke up for a few brief moments. That's huge! Do you remember seeing anything? A lighter. I saw the flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good, good. What else did you see? What was nearby? It was definitely the boarding lounge, so it must have been after Clay carried me there. In the light from the flame, I saw a dark shadow flickering. A dark shadow. That must have been the third party we've been looking for. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more help than you know. If we can prove there was this third person at the scene and that they're the real killer, then you'll be cleared of all suspicion. The key will be whether or not we can identify this person in court tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now, and that's a big plus. I should probably tidy the evidence up a bit before someone mistakes me for a hoarder. Relevant evidence tidied up. What do we lose? Not that I could even tell. Now that we have a glimmer of hope, I'm suddenly starving. Why don't we go back to the office and treat ourselves to a big celebration in advance? For someone who's highly empathetic, you can be surprisingly unsympathetic. Oh, looks like we got a little bit more intrigue to build before we get into the trial. found your strategy for tomorrow's trial, huh? Good for you, Daddy! Well, it's one step forward anyway. Hopefully it'll give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we can find out who this third person is. Now, let's get something to eat. I'm starving. My vote is for Eldoon's noodles. Oh, Apollo? Okay. What you got going on, Apollo? What are you doing here? I didn't think the clinic was ready to release you yet. My wounds are fine, and I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Leave the case to us. We'll take it from here. Thanks, but that's not an option. Not for me. Apollo. Uh-oh. He's got those astray eyes going on there. Either that or his character model just doesn't account for moving the shine in his eyes down. You shouldn't underestimate your injuries, Apollo. I don't want you overdoing it. I'm fine. I'm not in pain anymore. Besides, they gave me an IV at the clinic. An IV isn't a cure-all, mummy man. Anyway, just tell me how the case is going. Have you guys made any progress? A suspicious figure was spotted at the scene. We think they must be the real killer. A suspicious figure, huh? Right. I thought you'd be happier than that. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. And I fully intend to see Clay's murderer apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Alright, time to unpack. It's Christmas Eve, do some unpacking. Clay was your best friend, right, Apollo? That's right, best friend since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie. So, what was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy, and he had a really loud voice. If the two of you did voice training together now, I bet you'd break a few windows. You know, I bet you're right. Seems like only yesterday, Clay was a guy who lived for his dreams. He used to talk about it a lot. He was going to be an astronaut, and me a lawyer. We talked well into the night, and even then, we never grew tired of it. Apollo, about that jacket. Yep, good on Phoenix for remembering that. Oh, it's Clay's. I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat Project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for the Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. But just when his dream was finally coming true, I still can't believe it. I'm gonna let that speak for itself. And besides, I got paper-thin walls. Don't want to do that injustice by just, screaming in lowercase. Apollo, I hope you don't try to carry the burden all alone. I guess we were both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. I guess you're right on some level. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts. That was a rough time for me, but Clay refused to let me quit. You're fine, he'd say. Don't give up. It was right during his screening exams, too. I couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. That "you're fine" of his is why I'm still standing here today. You're fine, huh? You're fine and I'm fine were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories. We were in junior high. Clay's mom passed away in an accident. But he wouldn't show his sadness to anyone. One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Mom. Get away, Apollo. Don't come over here. Clay, listen to me. I don't have a mother either. Huh? I always think everybody else has a mom. Why am I the only one? But, you know, when I started to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler, I'm fine! And then you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. Apollo Justice is fine! Okay, Clay, now it's your turn. Okay. Clay Terran is fine! There you go. Now we're both fine! We're fine! We're fine! What are you laughing about? See, we're fine. You laughed first. I'm fine. You're fine. We're both fine. Oh, it hurts so much in retrospect. Thanks, Apollo. You say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. As long as you don't give up, you can keep on fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up. Wasn't there somebody else who said something similar? If I give in my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. Clay called Mr. Starbuck his mentor and looked up to him. Wonder if I can be a good role model for my staff like Mr. Starbuck. Hey, you're already a good dad. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What? Wait, what do you mean by a leave? You're really serious. Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal too. I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth, that's a noble cause. Knowing what you know in the next game makes this scene so much more emotional. Oh man, looks like we'll have to get to that sooner rather than later. I mean, along the usual course of things. But what if the truth you seek and the truth I seek turn out to be different? I'm not sure I follow. What are you saying, Apollo? I'm gonna catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life in my own way. So, we're going to catch the murderer, and he and Apollo is going after the one who caused the murder. If you catch what I'm saying. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Now, I must be going. Goodbye. Goodbye? Did he just say goodbye? I sensed a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him. And also, suspicion. He's not walking out on us like this. I'm gonna talk some sense into him. Hold on, Athena. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. Even if we take our different paths, the truth we arrive at should be the same. I think the quicker we solve this case, the better it will be for Apollo. Yeah, you're right, boss. Alright, that's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial, okay? if he were here right now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. Well, fine enough at the very least. To be continued. Dang. So yeah, seems So we're looking for the murderer, and I think Apollo is looking for someone way above that. He is punching up, which really makes things all the more intriguing. What truth is Apollo seeking, and is it the same as the one that Phoenix is seeking? Good place to end the stream. Exactly. I don't think we'll wrap up the first court day in 10 minutes. And I've had enough, and yeah. For once we're ending at a reasonable time. Yeah, probably because the court sequence was kind of truncated. In any case, you're very welcome for the stream. Glad you had fun. Blorf, and thank you for watching. If you are watching this as a VOD, so you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, join the Discord. It is in the description. It'll let you know when the next stream comes up. We will re-adjourn at Saturday with the second trial day. But it's is it trial day 2? Yeah, day 2, trial day 2. And we will see what we can figure out with this new information that we have. Who was that shadowy figure? Was Aura Blackquill entirely reasonable with us? Was she honest with us? What kind of lies and brags is the captain gonna say on the stand? And other things. And I have a feeling that we're in 3-day territory. So I have a feeling that next time is not going to be the end of it. Until then, I'm out. Oh yeah, and Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.